Hi guys, my name is Valerie. I'm an intern at VidCode and I'm also a rising senior in high school. I'm interested in coding. I know a little bit about coding and I've gone to a couple of hackathons as well. So as you guys probably could tell from the title of the video and some of the things I talked about when I introduced myself, today's topic is going to be about hackathons, especially if you guys are new to hackathons. So I'll be answering 5 questions that are really common for beginners to have about hackathons. The first is, what is a hackathon? Then, what can I make at hackathons? What if I don't know how to code? Where can I find hackathons? And finally, what should I bring to a hackathon? So let's get started. A hackathon is an event where attendees form teams to create coding projects within a given time period. Typically, they are 24 hours long. After completing their coding projects, teams have the option to submit and pitch to a panel of judges in different categories. And so if you're best in your category, you can get a prize. And some of these categories include Best Beginner Hack, which is for those that are first-time hackathon competitors. Then you have Overall Best, which is #1 throughout the entire hackathon. Then you have more specific projects, sometimes something like Most Sustainable, Best Mobile App, or Best Web Developer. And so some of the prizes that come along with this that I've seen are PlayStations, you have laptops, I've even seen air fryers, and I think some of the most common ones are AWS credit and thousands of dollars, which is Amazon Web Services for cloud computing. And so these categories and prizes are really there to help teams kind of figure out what they want to do. So if they like a prize, they make a project within the matching category. The sky's really the limit when it comes to what you can make at hackathons. So it really depends on how much you know, and again, those prizes that I've talked about before and what you want. And so I've seen several different things. I've seen mobile apps being developed, both in Android and iOS. I've seen websites being created. Games are also very popular to make. I've even seen virtual reality being used in people's projects. And so it just depends on what you know. And again, if you're a beginner, just what you learn through those VidCode lessons can be enough to submit a project at hackathons. This is definitely a very big concern for many of those beginners out there who don't really know how to code, or they don't think they're good enough to compete at hackathons. It was definitely a concern for me, but don't worry. You can go into a hackathon without knowing how to code at all. This is because workshops are a very big part of hackathons. And so at these workshops, you have very beginner level workshops such as Intro to Java, Intro to Python, Intro to Web Development, and then you have more advanced things like Arduino robotics, maybe machine learning AI, and then some motivational workshops as well, like Women in STEM. And so these are things that are available throughout hackathons. You're just able to attend whenever you feel like, if you find something that you like and learn something new. Easiest thing to do is to Google it, and another thing I can recommend is a site called DevPost. DevPost is a website most hackathons use for their competitors to submit their projects, and they have a bunch of hackathons listed on there already, so you can take a look at those hackathons and see which ones you like to attend. Another thing I can recommend is virtual hackathons. These are hackathons you just stay at home and you code and hack at home and submit on time, and you have the chance to win the prizes that this virtual hackathon offers. Another thing I would recommend is to look up hackathons at local universities and high schools and see if you're eligible. So eligibility is kind of important. A lot of these hackathons will have age requirements, so you need to make sure you're old enough to compete at these hackathons. Another thing is make sure you're keeping in mind how far away some of these will be, since you may have to drive a couple of hours to get to them. Pretty self-explanatory what you bring to a hackathon. So most importantly, you have to bring your laptop, your computer, whatever you're going to code on, because they're not going to provide you with a laptop. Along with that, you want to bring any hardware you want to use. Most hackathons do have a hardware lab that they will lend out equipment to people, but you never know if they're going to have enough for you, and you never know if they're going to have exactly what you want. Next, you want to bring a sleeping bag or pillows or blankets, since it is a long competition and you might want to take a nap or sleep during the nighttime. Also, most hackathons are super long. They're 24 hours long, which means afterwards you're going to be super tired and most of your weekend is going to be spent at the hackathon. So you want to get some of your homework done or any schoolwork done at the competition. I always found that really helpful. And finally, you want to bring in comfy clothes to make sure that you're not uncomfortable while you're sitting and coding for 24 hours straight. And along with that, you want to bring your toiletries and any medication you need to take. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully that was super helpful. Remember, you don't have to be a coding expert to go to a hackathon. Just go there, have fun, and learn something.